Hey, what's going on? This is an episode of Friday Night Gems. I'll just wait for a few more people to join us live so I can start giving out some gems, business gems. Hope everybody had a productive week. What's going on? Yep, so we just giving out some Friday Night Gems, man. So, Friday Night Gems. So, yeah, man, this week was pretty tough week, balancing. I got to find a new assistant. And just give us some Friday Night Gems, man. One thing you gotta always do, man, is make sure you plan your week. Do your best to plan your week. Time management is one of the biggest things when it comes down to entrepreneurship. You don't want to be ripping and running and doing all this and third because you wearing yourself thin. So one thing that I do want to advise everybody to do is start tracking their daily habits. That's one of the things that has made me, a better person overall. I write down what's going on, sister, Meek University. So yeah, one thing I do, man, one thing that's been really working for me lately is tracking my habits, making sure that I'm doing enough good each day. Doing enough good each day to carry forward for the rest of the week. So a few of the habits that I track, every day I make sure I read, I make sure I exercise, I make sure I work on my business. I make sure I smile. Simple things. I encourage everybody to track their habits. So what I did is I got a whiteboard. I got a whiteboard. It's a calendar, actually. So I got a calendar. And so on the side of the calendar, I track all of the habits that I want to have. Not saying that I want to have, that I need to have in order to be successful. I just walk over to my vision, not my vision board, my habit tracker board. It's one of the things that help me out. Whenever I see myself slipping or lacking, or whenever I see a dip, normally I'm not following my habit tracker. So let me show y'all what's going on. So this is my habit tracker right here. So the habit tracker. So on the side, I got all the habits that I try to track daily. And I try to follow those to a T. So number one, did I spend at least 1 hour to focus on my business, content, or finances? Number two, did I exercise? Number three, did I pray? And I just do a quick prayer. I'm not the most religious person. Number four, control habits. So, sometimes, in the middle of the day, I got this habit of where I smoke or, I do something like go have some drinks for lunch. As long as I control my intake, I'm normally good. Number five, read at least 10 minutes a day. So every day I try to read at least 10 minutes. And number six, did I learn something new? So those are pretty much the habits that I track. Another thing that helps me out as well is like whenever I got like a goal or a task I'm trying to accomplish, I do something called the impact filler. So when you're doing an impact filler, you answer these 7 questions. Number one, what is your project or goal? Number two of the impact filler is the what is your purpose? So if you got a goal, always make sure you have a purpose attached to that goal. So, so as I'm building my course, I got a few different goals in mind. One thing is to basically teach as many people as I can. That way I can make my impact. And number two, to make some money in the process. So those are my 2 main goals. Number 4, what is the outcome of the project? Number 5, if I take action, what are my best results? Number 6, worst results if I don't take action. And number 7, what will be true when I complete this project? So yeah, those 2 things. Number 1, the habit tracker. Number 2, the impact filler. Biggest thing in entrepreneurship, people think it's all about giving game. In entrepreneurship, people think it's all about the sauce. It's all about giving some game. Number 1 thing when it comes down to entrepreneurship is your mindset. If you're not mentally prepared, if you don't do things like surround yourself around the right people, if you don't consume a lot of information, find a niche, find a craft, and master that craft, you'll never ultimately become a 7, 8, or 9 figure person. In fact, it might even be hard to make it to the 6 figures. So mindset is really the biggest thing. No matter what your hustle is, mindset and always like making sure you progress. Those are the two biggest things that affect your business. So for instance, daily motivation. I always make sure you get you some daily motivation. I encourage everyone to listen to a podcast, or just listen. I always try to make sure you consume some information. You always got to drill in your head that it's meant for you to be successful, and you got to make sure that you got to make sure that you're doing whatever is necessary to be successful. Not just thinking of success, but also make sure you take those action steps. And while we on this live, man, anybody wanna ask me any questions pertaining to being a reseller or eBay and Amazon, feel free to shoot your shot. I'm just on here just pretty much engaging with my audience on this Friday night before I step out. So yeah, number one, mindset. In business, it doesn't matter what business you're in. It's all like, number one is mindset. Number one is always mindset. Another thing, man, you always got to be closing, always thinking revenue. So what I mean by that, no matter what your business is, always make sure that people know what you're doing. The more people know what you're doing, I'm not saying get everyone in your business, but I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people online. They got pretty cool businesses that can actually help people if they buy their products or services. But one thing that people don't do is they don't tell enough people. They don't tell enough people on a consistent basis, what it is that they do. And another thing, they don't always clarify what it is they do. Some people just think that they're in business to make money. Yeah, you got to make money in your business. That's the number one goal. But you have to, you got to clearly message. You got to build a good connection with your audience. You got to build a good connection with the people that know you, and you always got to be building your brand. And you always got to let people know what you're doing. That way you increase your chances of success. I don't care what it is that you do. You always got to make sure that you let people know. And number three, always perfect your craft. Always perfect your craft. I always try to get better at whatever it is that you do. I always try to get better at whatever it is that you do. Always learn. Always look at other people that are doing what you're doing in your industry. Find out how to separate yourself. I always try to find out how to get better, whether it's in the form of having a better marketing play or just networking or just coming up with better systems. I always look for improvements in your business. Where can you improve? Every day you should track, things that went good and things that went bad in your business. The things that went good in your business, double down. The things that didn't go so well in your business, always make sure you try to figure out ways to offset those distractions or, offset those mishaps or whatever. So number three, always make sure you're improving. Always make sure that you're striving to improve. Doesn't matter what your business is, it's always something more to learn. It's always a better opportunity to provide whatever services that you need to provide. It's always a better way to strengthen your brand. It's always another way to increase your overall productivity. So those are the three things. Always make sure you got your mind right. Always make sure you communicate your business on a consistent basis. Your friends, families, and followers should definitely know what you're doing. And yeah. And number three, always be, always be closing, always be communicating, always be improving, So number three, always be improving. Always improve yourself. Always try to improve yourself mentally. I always just try to improve your business. I always look for areas to improve. And, and it's always something to learn. If you feel like you know it all, then you don't know enough. If you feel like you're giving all the information, you don't know enough. So that's my 2 cents. Hope you guys have a nice Friday night.